Hi, Roxanne here. My debut book, The Ocyphius Channelings Volume 1, is available right now from Amazon.com and iTunes. The iTunes book edition for Apple devices also includes over 2 hours of previously never recorded, in other words, brand new, from the Ocyphius channeling sessions. Click the annotation appearing on the screen to download your copy now. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye now. Hi, and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. This is Roxie. Thanks for tuning in. And we have a lot of people here today. We have Harris, Noah, and the lovely wife. Come bring Noah up here. We're going to make Noah famous. This is Noah. This is Harris. On the hookalo, here's the wife. Come on, take it.
Hello.
There you go.
Hello, guys. So they're from Ireland, visiting the United States, coming to visit and say hi. And I met you on Hookalo?
Yeah.
Is it
no, we met and then...
Oh, that's right, and then you got on Hookalo.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the Hookalos, and here's one of our Hookalo members sitting in the presence of Roxanne. Very exciting. It's not that much, I just play it. We have Damien here. We're not going to put him on camera. Secret issues. No. I'm kidding. He's military. No. You guys ready? Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for coming. All right. You ready now? Hold on. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius. I bid you a good day. Our eternal thanks for your co-creation in this time, in this, let's say, area of your here and now, if you will. And all who chose, of course, to participate in this vibrational and the physical idea. Excellent. All right, let us continue. The idea of the isness of you, the now, touching yourself, if you will. We are going to expand on this a little further. After this last idea impartation on the recent video many of you have chose to view, you are now understanding how the idea of the ego keeps you in the cycle of itself. You feel yourself in a moment of now. You are in observation of your actions. Those actions are giving you a particular feeling. That of maybe fixing something, that of maybe what does it mean, questioning, inquiring, if you will, the idea of yourself. That actual inquiry of the observation is still repetition of an emotional attachment. This is what we want you to focus in on. The isness of now, the ability to understand, see, and feel all human emotions without engaging in any of those emotions. You are still experiencing fully, but there is no emotional connection to this idea, which takes you once again out of the now. It takes you into a formulated probability of the future, or it is a reminiscence idea of the past. The now, once again, is so perfect, so complete. There is no effort in the now. There is no conscious injection of emotion to feel any particular way. This is the depth of the ego. This is the ego fighting for its idea to stay alive. It is trying to become what you have, let's say, chosen to deactivate, disseminate. The idea of the ego, struggling. And it is not the ego once again. Listen, there's an idea out there that a lot of you are attaching the ego as a separate entity. It is not. It is you and the idea of this mannequin's belief system you have chosen to energize and walk around gloriously upon earth with the built-in belief systems running on its own. It is so easy if you can just understand this. Take the energizer, you, out of this mannequin and shift it over to the little Noah baby over there. Now that is you with those belief systems. And then you shift over to the idea of another person that sits across from you. Maybe your spouse, maybe your husband, maybe your wife. Does not matter. Any of these ideas, your lover, your children, feel yourself going into them and then feel the belief systems of them. That's what the ego is. It is just a construct of an ego-filled idea system that gives you life, gives you meaning, gives you all the ideas of definition which you are deconstructing, gives you all of the ideas of these definitions that keep you identified in the idea of separation. You are separating constantly in the idea of feeling a particular way about something. The emotional attachment. You get to feel everything about everything already. It is you in the mastery idea to engage in each emotion without engaging in the emotion. Feeling them, loving them, viewing them as one thing, the state of love, creation, with no shifting in you that takes you in and out of yourself, into anxiety, into, let's say, fear, circumferencing, out of happiness, into sorrow, out of sorrow, into joy. This is the ego at work, shifting, and you're bouncing around inside of yourself going, I need to fix it, I need to do this, I need to do that. Oh yes, most certainly. And that idea, this is what you are experiencing. The deeper you go, the more ideas of yourself you reveal to yourself that keep you in limitation. Period. That is the joy of, let's say, deconstructing the illusion. You are truly becoming emotionless, yet feeling everything. Every single ounce of emotion you get to experience in its fullness, in its richness, without the attachment, which takes you once again out of the now. And you feel that isness in that moment, and it expands and spawns upon all nows. It takes everything in time that's, let's say, seemingly disconnected and gives it the feeling of one. Because you are all of those things in the now. Chiming in. Go let it go. Are you sure? Beautiful. Oh, grand that you chose humanity, our eternal things. Booyah. All right. So when you journey down this road of emotional attachment, realize that it is you that switches back and forth inside of yourself. It is you, the idea that takes you back and forth, in and out of the now. And of course, please, by all means, do not get angry at it. Do not judge it. Do not fix it. There is no action needed. It is only the perfection of now. That's it. That now gives you the solitude of your eternalness that you feel. Chiming in. When I stop, he stops. Beautiful. Am I babbling? Oh, no. I'm most certainly talking to no. All right. So, pardon me. The mastery idea once again. You get an impartation in your life, whatever it is, a moment. Are you in awe of the moment? Ego. Are you in sorrow of that idea? Ego. Are you happy about that idea? Ego. Because if you are going to happiness, the only thing that creates that is you're traveling in time going to happiness when you are already happy. It's the ego that takes you there to give you that moment of understanding. That is intention. These are the background programs that are so unrelated, yet they are everything. They are so unconnected, but they connect everything. This is what keeps you in that idea of repetition. Repetition. Always. Now, so look at those nows. When you feel yourself, listen now, there's 3 ideas here. The first idea is you feel yourself emotionally attached to a moment. Perfect. The next thing, you feel the observation of you emotionally attaching to that motion. Emotion. Second thing. Now we go to the third idea. Then in observation, you see yourself observing yourself observing the idea of attachment to that emotion. Now that's the three things that are moving back and forth. The idea is that the last one, when you are observing the observed, observing the emotion, that's the stillness of you. That's when you can set way back and watch the movie. You get emotionally attached to the movies, you feel the movies, but then you know the idea is not you. You're enamored by the, let's say, the action, the drama. You feel it emotionally, but you go home. You're done. That was awesome. And you're not attached to it. This is the same thing. This is the depth of observation, stepping out of it and feel everything in the moment, in its fullness, for the richness of being human, eating a steak, smelling the rose, the touch and scent of a woman. Any of this is the joy of being a human without the mastery, the emotional, let's say, roller coaster that it pulls you in dogma, in obligation, in hindrance. All of this ties in. And now you can see the depth of forgiveness you have chosen. The mastery idea of your idea of yourself. To go this deep, to find these deepest, tiniest little fragments of the illusion to dissolve. Are you sure? He's wonderful. Any questions, anyone? There's a crowd here, so we can ask that. No? Perfect. Time reader?
12 minutes.
Perfect. All right. What we're going to do is, we haven't done this in a while, we're going to take a small break, and we have a guest speaker that's going to come in. So we're going to download something in the idea of Roxie so she can understand this vibration. Until our next now, we bid you a good night. Be back shortly. Or don't. Wow. All right, we're going to take a break, apparently. Love you guys. See you in a few. Hi, and welcome back from break. Noah's very energetic today. We love him. All right, here we go. You can come up and speak, baby. And welcome back from break. Thank you for tuning back in this idea. We shall have a guest speaker from the Akumi civilization out of Shiloh. And greetings to the collective. This is Shiloh from the Akumi civilization. You are not familiar with our idea of our impartation, of our incarnation, if you will, and we will now, let's say, impart ideas upon you. The idea of our civilization, we are currently a ninth density idea, a ninth density idea in the idea of fractalizing ourselves into a civilization, much to do with your birthing of humanity way back when. The idea of humanity, please remember this, you had the idea of separation. That's what your goal was, to understand and not know what you are. And now in the idea, we're going to give you a little bit of an impartation. Keep up. Impartation on this idea. You journeyed into separation with nothing to hold on to. In other words, you fell into a pit with no bottom. That is where a journey started for the idea of humanity. You had no earth, no polarity, you just forgot. The fear was so deep, so scary, no one wanted to choose it anymore. So you gave yourself footholds. What were the footholds? Matter, universes, planets, air, gases, minerals, elements. The idea of wind, fire, all birthed from the idea of separation. The ones who first chose to understand nothing. Nothing complete forgetfulness with nothing to hold on to. If you think about it, this, in your logic, it's all embedded in each and every one of you. Not one of you don't understand this feeling of that shallowness into the depth of forgetfulness, into the, let's say, into scaring the shit out of yourself. Deep, deep forgetfulness. And out of that, humanity was birthed. Physical ideas. There's going to be some replications of argument among you who claim the ideas. Claim the ideas of who was first. Let me ask you a question. Does that fucking matter? Who was first? Is that an ego idea of, let's say, I started it all? Let me tell you something. Nobody started it in any particular time. No one up here gives a rat's ass. We love your language. This is so exciting. About who started it. It doesn't matter. Because that keeps you in an ego-separated self. Duh! Stop it. Stop it. Look, we don't care. We don't have any concern. We are not emotion. We shed those eons upon eons, times 10 to the fourth, we know, about the emotional attachment you guys are feeling. And if this draws up an idea of emotion, good, then we've serviced you already. Think about it, if you choose. The idea, guys, listen, is when you created yourselves in the idea of physical realm, it changed everything. Everything. Humanity. Are you the first species? Are you the first epic idea of physicality? Oh, most certainly. And it all was chosen by a very few amount to want to understand what it's not, correction, what is like not to know what you are. That's where you started from. You didn't start as an idea of physicality. You started an idea of separation, of the depth of fear that is incomprehensible. This is why you hold on to your ego so valiantly, because that is the only thing you know, and you are remembering through your imprinted DNA, you're remembering what it was like to have nothing to hold on to fall forever into the bottomless pit with nothing, zero, except your awareness of nothing. That's scary. Not a little bit, a lot. So the ego is so depth within you as an idea of identity. You are so scared to become nothing, but of course you don't, because you become everything. But that is what you're fearing. That is the core idea on why the ego is so why the ego is so valiant, so resourceful, so idealized in its own self-preservation. This is everything that spawns the illusion, the fear of becoming what you've already experienced. Emptiness, nothingness, nothing to identify with. If you can imagine, there's no reflecting in the mirror. You have complete self-awareness, but there's nothing reflecting to show you you are alive, that you actually exist. You got to the point of feeling non-existent while you existed. This is how physicality was birthed. This is the depth of humanity. This is how fucking epic you are. But now the awareness And do not discount what Ocyphius says on the sense of awareness. Because every awareness gives you the modality of that light-encoded reality matrix that tells you everything. It is only your mind that processes it. That's, and let's say, a limitation. That's a definition. Now that you have the awareness of where the ego birthed itself from, now you can understand it from that awareness point of view. You are and always have been God, choosing not to understand yourself in the reflection of being God. Epic. You chose the first journey of humanity is not to have any reflection. Scary. Then you've created the idea of physicality out of that. That physicality birthed billions of civilizations in all the nows and all universes. Countless, you can't count them. We could be here for eons and get to like, let's say 1. That's how many there are. Out of this idea of separation, of complete forgetfulness. And now the identity of the ego is so beautiful, you can see it. You can now really see its birthing. And whenever you know what birthed something, then you can understand what birthed it, which gives you the awareness of the dissolving of it, because you understand what it is. And when you understand the wisdom of what the idea of humanity is in its core nature, then you understand it's never been there. That it's always been the idea of that part of creation that was unexplored. And the masters that sit before me chose it. Epic. All right. The Akumi, us. It's a very large civilization. We don't have time. We don't have time for idealized. Look, if you can just understand that we're here all the time, trust perfectly in the moment, and then we will connect. You want to know logic? We'll blow you away with logic. Okay? That's your choice. We got all the logic you can ever need. Because you can't understand what we know in your lifetime. So if you want to choose that with us, come on. We need to be fed with you. You need to be fed with us. Because we have ideas of co-creation that bring the entire collective together out of our idea. Much like your Pleiadians, much like the Essassani, the Zetas, and all of that. The Akumi now are ready to come in. Because the vibrational foundation of humanity's core vibration as one is now, let's say, accepting of this reality. So in that idea, we would want you to connect to the Akumi when you see our, let's say, signature, which are orbs. Yellow orbs floating around. That's us. Say hello. Don't waste your time, please, with rituals, with meditation, with any of that. You can only use a tool for so long. Period. Move on. So just say, hey, what's up? I'm gonna go, hey, what are you doing? That's it. If you think that's too simple, then you're exposing your ego. Rejoice, have a Coke and a smile, and move on. All right. So, Shiloh from the Akumi, honored once again to co-create with you. It's been a very, very, very long time. And the Akumi are here, so say hello, bring us in, and let's start to have some fun. That's a lot of the ideas. You guys are down on yourself and trying to make everything philosophical and, oh, look how smart I am. That's your ego. Relax. Lighten up. Have some fun. Get over yourselves. Get out of your way. And rock on, if you will. All right. Awesome. Thanks for letting me tune in. Thanks, O. I'll talk to you all in the next now, as O's likes to say. And our eternal thanks to that of the Akumi civilization. Excellent impartation. Thank you, that of Shiloh. All right, this is all we have for this space-time now. Once again, humanity, honored to co-create with you. Let's keep rocking the paradigm and ascend this fucking beautiful species. Booyah. I bid you a good day. Adone. Hi. Love it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll get this up. We'll talk to you on the next now.